Okay, welcome everybody. Thought we had a good first day. Everybody in the country has a good first day. I promise you that. So, the guys were pretty fired up about being out there. And we got good energy. Got done what we wanted to get accomplished. It's non-padded, non-contact, but thought it went well. A couple of deals here. I know you guys are going to ask, but there's 3 guys that are not here. Actually, 5 guys that are not here. 3 guys are on the physically unable to perform list. They're here, but they can't participate. Jackie Marcellus had knee surgery, so he's out until January. Amani Brown is still recovering from knee surgery. He'll more than likely be practicing the first day of school. Russell Houghton James is not able to go right now. He'll probably be back first day of school. We're still waiting on Dante Angus and Jacob McCrary for eligibility situations. Injuries, KJ Dillon's out for probably about a week or so. Got a twisted ankle. Happened actually on his break. Don't know what he was doing, but when he was gone for 5 days, he hurt his ankle. But he'll be good to go in about a week. Brandon Golston's recovering from that shoulder surgery. He looks good out there. He's just got to be non-contact for a while. And Jared Barber is still in red, and probably don't anticipate him being able to go for probably about another month. So other than that, everybody's looks good. Thought we've had a great summer. Mike, Coach Joseph, and the strength staff has done a great job getting these guys physically ready to play. I sense that our bodies look different than they haven't quite since I've been here. So got a lot of numbers. They got a lot of numbers, and we got a lot of healthy bodies. So that makes it fun, makes it exciting about continuing as we move forward in camp. So with that, I'll take some specific questions.
Any newcomers, you didn't mention, I didn't see Walter Rottercross, the situation.
He decided not to play football. So he was here during the summer and decided this was not for him, so went home, and he is no longer on the team. So still waiting. Doesn't I don't want to really comment on it, but still waiting.
You mentioned the body is different today. Because of all the injuries last year, was there a different emphasis this offseason? Are you guys doing anything differently to maybe beef yourselves up for the season?
No. I think Mike's plan of attack this year is very similar to last year. I think our attitude, I think our mentality, I think it means a lot to us. The commitment level from our guys, I thought, was as high as it's been since I've been here for sure.
Draymond Henry is in the mix as far as starting at free safety. I assume that's still the case. It's only been a week, but you really haven't seen them all that much. So what is that based on?
Well, we worked with them for all summer. We weren't able to work with a specific ball, but we were able to, sit in here and meet with them. We were able to go outside, be a part of the conditioning stuff, which is, it could be just conditioning or it could be change of direction stuff. We were able to do some specific technique stuff with them. So it seems like it's easier to go out there day one because of the stuff that we've been able to do with them all summer. And we're not the only. That's everybody in the country, obviously, but especially these young guys. It's not just brand new to them. You take a guy like William Crest as well. We've been able to coach him in our offense for the last 2 months. So the things that we're saying to him today, he's already heard it for 2 months. So it definitely gets him ahead, and it gives us an evaluation on these guys that hasn't existed in the past.
What did you like about Draymond based on?
Well, he's big and fast and changes direction good and has a good mentality and picks things up pretty quick. So is ahead of the curve for a true freshman, that's for sure.
2 other depth chart things. Riddick you have as number 1, and he's never. Today was his first practice, I guess, with it. And also, you didn't have Underwood on the depth chart. Was wondering what.
I don't know what depth chart you're looking at. We lined up Riddick as a third-team defensive end today. He was a third-team defensive end. Stone Underwood is our next lineman in the game. He's the next guy in. He plays center and he plays guard. So Bob, I don't know what depth chart you're looking at. We can readjust it here after we've officially started camp here. But Stone's our next guy in, and Shaq, there's unknowns. We were not able to work with Riddick throughout the summer because he just graduated. So today was the first time that we've looked at him in person. So he was running third team.
And Underwood, he's practicing, I saw, but he wasn't listed anywhere.
Who is Underwood?
I think you mean Smallwood.
Smallwood, I mean.
Okay, Smallwood. Yeah, no, Smallwood coming out of that. I thought you meant Stone, which his last name is Underwood. So it's like Stone Underwood is our next lineman in the game. Wendell Smallwood is where he was at the end of camp. He had a great summer. Obviously, was not with us for about a 10-day period, but it is an integral part of what we're going to be doing offensively. I don't really. It's hard to put these running backs on an actual depth chart right now because we've got so many of them. We're just going to be able to rep them and kind of sort out which guys do what, figure out what our game plan is going to be, and then plug these guys in as we see fit. So it's really hard to develop a depth chart at running back.
Then you had the additional practice time or work time with him over the summer, but kind of countering that is the decrease in contact in preseason, the new things that you're hearing in the Big 12. How does that affect you preparing for the season and getting guys ready for contact?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to affect us at all. I went back and looked at how many times we actually tackled last fall, in our camp, and we actually tackled on 13 of the days, where this year we can only tackle on 12 of the days. And again, I could tackle every day if I really wanted to. It's not legislation. It's just a recommendation. But we're going to follow the recommendation. I don't think it's going to affect us at all. We'll still have 12 days to where we can, tee it up and tackle. We'll be able to be in pads another, I think, 3 or 4 or 5 days where we won't take them to the ground, but there'll still be some contact.
Dan, I think Jackie was the guy that you probably wanted to see what he could do healthy as an inside guy, slot guy, where you don't have a wealth of people. What's your game plan there? Not trying to find someone else.
Still better than it's been since I've been here. Jordan Thompson looks good. Da'Keil Shorts looks good. Those two guys, were our two inside guys last year. We're trying KJ Myers a little bit right there. KJ's been around here more than any receiver that we've had. He's going into his 4th year here, so he knows every position, and he's got the body type where he can play inside and he can play outside. Lamar Parker's an inside guy. Lamar made some plays today that surprised me, so he's another option. And then all those running back guys, we've talked about Wendell being an inside receiver. Bowie's done a good job of being an inside receiver. Cody Clay's done a good job of being an inside receiver. So we've got more options than we've had since I've been here.
Could you talk a little bit about chemistry and where it's developed? Is it developed over the summer? Did it develop here in camp? And what are the coaches' roles? What do the players have to develop that themselves? Yeah, there's a comfort level that exists right now that I'm very pleased with. Our coaching staff has a great relationship with each other, and the chemistry with our coaching staff I couldn't be more pleased with. We've been able to spend more time with our players. We got a full roster, ton of guys that we coached last year. We sat in here and taught them our punt team today, and the entire 2 deep was the same entire 2 deep that it was last year. We led the conference in net punt, and we weren't teaching anybody anything new. So the chemistry, the continuity right now is better than it's been since I've been here.
Is that a manifestation of having some older kids, a bunch of older kids?
And it sure helps. It sure helps. We're sitting at about 20 seniors, which there was a point where I didn't know if we'd have 10 seniors in this class, but adding some transfers,
getting some kids to stay here, adding some junior college guys and those guys doing a good job academically has put us in a position where we got a decent senior class, but the junior class is the one that's the biggie. There's 27, 28 guys there that are juniors that have played going on their third year now. When we didn't want to play them as freshmen, the one thing it gave us was them going into their junior year with a lot of snaps.
How important was it to get a kid like Bryant as a walk-on, as opposed to put him on a scholarship, kid from Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I don't know yet. We'll see. He's been here a day. I just met him last night. So, we'll talk about guys that have made plays.
Actually being able to get out there today, what did you see out of Clint? His arm strength, everything coming in.
His sense of urgency, the way he's reading signals, communicating, getting the ball snapped is night and day than it ever was at any point last year. So, it's just nice to be able to, not have to coach a guy every single play, to where you can call it and he does it and you can just move on to the next one. So he's in a good place. He's in a good place, and we will continue to develop his leadership skills and his continuity when it gets to the rest of the receivers. There's a real comfort level right now with him and Orlowski, with him and the receivers. There's a comfort level that exists right now that did not exist at any point last year.
David Dallas, you talked about how you're trying to teach self-preservation, that sliding, getting out of
Yeah, and we'll study that on film today. Even being non-contact, he's still going to have to understand, I didn't trigger the ball here and I would have got hit. I worked out of the pocket and tried to get away from that guy, and I didn't throw it when he got within arm's reach of me. So we'll be able to work on that through reps, even though the defense won't touch him. Obviously, this camp, we'll be able to say, look, man, you should have done this to avoid that hit, and he needs to continue to improve on that.
Dana, are you back to trying to figure out what to do with Logan Moore?
No, not really. I tell you, he does everything for us. I mean, he's got a role on this team. He's an extra arm. He's an emergency quarterback. He's an inside receiver. He's a special teams player. He's a guy that just is a role player, and we're glad he's here.
Dana, with William Prest, his first day out there, what do you see, and how do you feel like he's entering camp? At what level do you feel like?
Yeah, his head's spinning. His head's spinning. We got to force feed him reps. He just looks different than anybody else out there, so we got to force feed him reps, and his head's spinning, and he's going to make a ton of mistakes, and it's our job to keep him up, and just keep coaching him and keep teaching him.
When you say he looks different physically, and that's why you want to invest that time in him?
Yeah, he's big and he's fast and he's strong and got a good arm, and the reason why we recruited him for 3 years.
As someone who's had his own social media problems, and in the wake of
I have.
No, me.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what you're talking about, Bob. I told you I got over that a long time ago.
In the wake of what happened with Trickett,
Yeah.
what have you told your team about?
Oh man, we talk to him all the time about it. Mike Montero came up in here and talked to him about it last night. I reiterated everything that they said. Our coaches follow each and every one of our players. Obviously, he made a mistake. He's released a statement, and then I told him to get rid of all his social media. If you abuse it, then it's going to be gone.
I guess in this day and age, you can't tell everybody to do that, though.
Everybody that's on our team, we can. I mean, they chose to play at West Virginia University, and we can do what we want to with social media. So, and our guys are pretty good about it. I'm sure you guys follow a lot of these guys, and we try to keep our eye on it. If we miss something, then that stinks. But we try to keep on top of it. And if guys are not representing West Virginia University, West Virginia football, West Virginia athletics the way that they're supposed to, then there will be repercussions with it.
On the two deep that we got, Christian number 2 at Spurs. Is that accurate?
Who's that? Yeah, 2 or 3. He's a guy we haven't seen much of. Yeah, he probably moved up to 2. I think we repped Dayron Wilson 1 right there because he had a spring, so he was ahead. Dayron's done a good job for us. He was a walk-on junior college guy from Lackawanna who may have been their best defensive player a year ago, just undersized. he had a good spring. He's repping there, and then Colin's repping there as well. We don't really know what we got with Colin right now.
Would you guys run read option with Clint as your starter this year?
Sure.
The health, I mean, there's no concerns with that. You think that he's...
Nah. Just got to be smart about when you do it.
What goes? I mean, can you talk a little bit more about that? Your decision. I mean, is it something you guys are going to emphasize?
We've done it. We've done it in the past. You know, we've always been careful about how many times we do it. Our quarterback depth now is as odd as it is, as odd as it sounds. Our quarterback depth is much better than it's been in the past. You know, there's been 2 quarterbacks repping in camp several times since I've been here. You know, now we at least got 6 bodies out there right now that we could, you know, I don't think we'd want to put 5 or 6 in there, but we got guys that we can play now. So, you know, got to get guys ready.
Danny, you talked before about how you've been close in some games, had leads, gone to overtime, you've been generally competitive, and if not for a handful of plays, maybe things are very different. Do your guys see that as frustration in the past, or maybe as a motivation to, you know, maybe you're due in some regard to have better outcomes?
Well, yeah, I mean, our team feels like we're better at every position, and there you could make an argument that we are. You know, lost 2 guys at the NFL that were 2 great players, but you know, we may have to replace those guys with a combination of a couple guys. But we feel like we're better at every single position. You know, and definitely using it as motivation. You know, disappointing. You know, that we didn't win some of those close games, and not very happy about it. So. Have worked diligently to get ourselves in position to where we can get out there and show improvement.
Previous years when you didn't have the summer work, do you see fewer bad habits now you've got to correct because you were with them over the summer?
Oh, there's always habits, and when you can't use a ball and you can't go against each other, you know, then you got to work those bad habits out. So, no, I see a difference in the mental aspect of it, you know, what to do. We're not really coaching them what to do out there right now. You know, we're coaching them how to do it better. So, bad habits, no, bad habits are always going to exist. The mental aspect of it, I see a big difference. And maybe that's just because we got experience back, I don't know. Probably a combination of both.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.